So, some time ago I reviewed the Sony HX60, a small compact camera with an impressive 30x zoom. Well, today I'm excited to bring you its successor, the Sony HX99. This little powerhouse comes with a new sensor, a Zeiss lens and a 4K video recording. And because it's a bit newer, we'll also be making a few comparisons with today's smartphones. But before we dive into that, let's start with the build quality. This little camera is surprisingly well made. I must say it's a real step up from its predecessor, built with more alloy and better quality plastics. Not only that, but despite having more features, it's even more compact than the HX60, being slightly smaller and lighter. It weighs only 240 grams. Ergonomics are respectable, aside from a bit shallow grip, which is expected from such size camera. The button layout is good and all the controls, dials and shutter button work indeed pleasingly. Additionally, you get electronic viewfinder and tilting screen. Don't get me wrong, the LCD panel is of good quality, though I think it is about time manufacturers should start to use OLED panels. That way, with better visibility, even in direct sunlight, this little pop-up viewfinder wouldn't be needed. Honestly, I'm not a fan of it. The vision is small and it's not really that comfortable to use. Moving to the most important, image quality, it is generally what you would expect from a good 1/2.3 inch sensor cameras. Colors in daylight are a bit biased in saturation, nevertheless they are fairly accurate and nice to look at. Dynamic range in itself is sufficient. The level of detail is decent, however don't expect a ton of depth and sharpness as from a 1-inch sensor, for example. In the end, this is meant to be a small camera with the most possible zoom. That said, given we have Zeiss signature in here, I expected a bit more sharpness from the lens at farther focal lengths. Still, I think it performs a bit better in comparison with the Sony G optics found in the HX60, although side-by-side comparison would be needed to confirm this for sure. And whereas we can point out and nitpick all day, it's safe to say no smartphone today will match the 30x optical zoom abilities of the HX99. And that is why people love those little cameras. Unfortunately, I feel like I repeat myself year after year, but manufacturers are ignoring this and they don't bother implementing any new technologies announced in smartphones. As a result, prematurely killing those fun compact cameras. Let me show you. Whereas we might discuss those perhaps artificial looking auto HDR shots not everyone will like, at least give us an option to achieve this kind of look, for example as the second auto mode on the dial. More importantly, it is unacceptable that in low light and night photos the camera is giving worse results than a smartphone. Then we wonder why people are choosing smartphones instead of a proper point and shoot. Heck, give it an Android and all of mentioned things will be extremely easy to implement. Sony even has a dedicated departure for Xperia smartphones. For some reason, they just refuse to connect all the dots. Anyway, it all comes down to the software, and this round is really about the whole compact camera market. The HX99 is just an example. That being said, its hardware is solid in itself and for example you can see that the level of details is quite on par with smartphones. What could also be improved is the stabilization. It is not too impressive. When using zoom, be prepared to use both hands. However, autofocus is pretty fast and snappy, so that is good. When it comes to the video quality, fortunately we have 4K. Sony bet on a very natural look, which I approve. The colors are mild, quite accurate, without overprocessing. You can really get some impressive footage with this little camera. Just pure details collected by the sensor with a very gentle level of sharpness, especially when we compare this footage with a smartphone clip. Being greedy, maybe I would like a little more detail and sharpness, but really I'm happy with the way this camera shoots video. They are natural, soft and detailed. Unfortunately, the only drawback is the completely ineffective stabilization. As a result, it's rather quite hard to capture something handheld, especially when using the zoom. All in all, the Sony HX99 seems to have slightly better image quality, more specifically a sharper lens compared to the previously tested HX60. Also, I really liked its even greater compactness and better build quality. Those of you who want to record videos will be happy about the possibility of recording in 4K with gentle and natural footage, though be aware to use gimbal or tripod. Either way, it's a definite upgrade in every term over the HX60. That said, should you buy it depends on the price. The new HX99 costs about $500. It is quite a lot, so maybe it's worth looking around on the secondary market. For example, HX60 can be bought for as little as $100. In the future, I would also like to test Canon SX740HS and Panasonic TZ95. But to be honest, I don't think they would be much better than the Sony, and certainly not in the areas where I criticize it. In the end, I hope as soon as possible, before it's too late, manufacturers will eventually wake up and bring back glory to compact cameras. In my opinion, diversity is worth keeping. Be sure to let me know your opinion on this. If you enjoyed this review, consider visiting my brand new blog, mReviewer. There you will find an exclusive gallery with full resolution sample images you won't see anywhere else. The link is in the description. See you in the next one. Peace.